Good morning and welcome to Lost for Words. I am Sarah Woods, and here on this channel we explore great women poets. And as you know, we've been exploring the poet Sylvia Plath, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to quickly explore her voice beyond her poetry. These are the Unabridged journals of Sylvia Plath. Today, the quote I have is from June 15th, 1951. I believe at this time in her life, she was at Smith College. I have to say, I'm very excited about this journal. I feel like, for me personally, I may enjoy it even a little more than her poetry. I'm just overwhelmed with how descriptive she is in her journals, and it almost feels like her journals are a piece of art in themselves. The depth with which she describes things and explains things is so vivid and articulated so well. It's really amazing. I can't imagine someone putting this much effort into effort and care into the way they write about the happenings of their life. I know personally, when I write in my journal, it's a much more surfacey descriptions, and so I was just amazed reading her descriptions of things. But today, the quote that I would like to dive into just quickly is one about her father. I thought it was really interesting after having read the poem Daddy and some of her other poetry, where you get this sense that her father is like this looming thing, or this looming presence in her life that is destroying her. And for me personally, when I have read those poems, I got a very negative feeling about her father. And so in this quote, I feel like she gives us a little bit different of a picture of her father. And so I think that's probably important, because a poem can capture a feeling that a person is having, but it doesn't always capture a lifetime of feelings. I don't know if that makes sense, that things can be more complicated than just one poem. And so I feel like this shows that. So she's going on, she's talking about different people in her family, and then she comes to her father, and this is where she says, "There is your dead father, who is somewhere in you, interwoven in the cellular system of your long body, which sprouted from one of his sperm cells, uniting with an egg cell in your mother's uterus. You remember that you were his favorite when you were little, and you used to make up dances to do for him as he lay on the living room couch after supper. And you wonder if the absence of an older man in the house has anything to do with your intense craving for male company and the delight in the restful low sound of a group of boys talking and laughing." So when I read this quote, I was like, oh my goodness, this feels so different than the poem Daddy. And so I wanted to quickly share it with you. Here, she's talking about her dead father and talking about how he is somewhere in her. Even though he's dead, he is somewhere in her. And she talks about coming from him and her mother and being created by them. And then she says she remembers that she was his favorite when she was little. And she used to make up dances for him as he lay on the living room couch after supper. So she takes us back in time and gives us this picture of one of her memories of her father. She remembers being his favorite and she remembers him laying on the couch after supper, and she remembers making up dances for him. I feel like this memory is like very warm and nostalgic in a way that's sort of like a longing for him, which I think is really, like, I think it's precious. And to me, that is a beautiful memory of your father. But then she also associates it with wondering if his absence, because he died when she was very little, she wonders if his absence has anything to do with her intense craving for male company and the delight in the restful low sound of a group of boys talking and laughing. So you get this sense that when she's around men, that there is some part of her that longs for male company and to be in the presence of men or boys, and that you can see her wondering here if, oh, I wonder if I'm like this because, like, I tasted this experience of having a father and I was his favorite, and he used to watch me dance. Then came his absence, and like this feeling like, oh, I wonder if that's why I crave a male in my life, why I crave that male attention, that male presence. I think that's something interesting to think about. But that's all. These are going to be really, really quick little quotes for you to think about, and hopefully it'll help me and maybe others out there have a broader perspective of the inner life and the voice and the person of Sylvia Plath. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. All right.